Hey, welcome to Offshoot Comics Off Topic with your host, Kerbykidd
and Black Superman,
also known as David Clark.
and Walter Bryant.
And look, this is two videos. This is consistency right here. Today we're going to talk about what we would do to fix DC, and God knows they need a lot of help.
Yeah, well, first off, to fix DC, you just hire us.
Hire us right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, actually, this video can now end.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be it. But, I mean, since they're not going to hire us, I guess we should actually tell them what they should be doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the first step is, after they erase everything, after the snap, they need to take a page out of Marvel's book and give everyone an intro movie. They need to have everything flow into each other. They need to take time. It's going to be 5 to 6 years before they get to anywhere near the level of success that Marvel has.
Mm-hmm.
So
Agreed.
they need to take time.
Yeah, agreed. They need to take their time and do that, and then they need to understand the characters.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder didn't understand the characters.
He does not.
He doesn't understand Batman shouldn't be learning from Lex Luthor. I mean, he can steal from Lex Luthor, but if Lex Luthor knew it before Batman, it's already wrong.
It's a problem. I mean, yeah. So they have to get the characters right.
Mm-hmm.
Batman isn't going to be recklessly going through a city murdering people during a car chase. That's just not.
No,
that's not what he does. So they got to find a strong start. And honestly, I think you start with you either start with Batman or Superman.
Well, they've already said they're going to start with Superman, and that's fine.
It's not fine.
That's fine.
I hate
him
so much.
You have to understand him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember this very well just because I already thought it was wrong as soon as I heard it. When Zack Snyder started talking about what he wanted to do with Superman, he was talking about he wanted to focus on him as an alien and how lonely he was and how separated he is. And I'm like, dude, that's not Superman. Superman is a guy who is like your big brother, who when you get into a fight and someone's kicking your butt, you look up and your big brother walks up and now you feel safe because you know he's going to handle it. That's not the guy that was in the Man of Steel movie. That guy was picked on. He was separate. I have no idea why he would decide to fight for this planet. He had no reason.
And then, like his mom said, "You don't owe us anything." What?
Yeah, that is not a guy. Like you didn't see him. His grandparents didn't like him. His cousins didn't like him. He didn't have a girlfriend. What? This is a school shooter. This is a guy.
Oh my God, it is.
This is a guy who becomes Brightburn.
I was gonna say, yeah, this is Brightburn.
Yeah, so I have no idea how they thought that was Superman.
To be fair, I have always thought that was Superman's true form. So, for anyone who's tuning in for the first time with us, I hate Superman.
I'm the world's biggest Superman fan, so that works out really well.
That's how it works. But yeah, I think So I mean, if you start with Superman, I guess that's possible. I mean, Batman would be cooler.
Batman's already out there.
Not enough. Not nearly enough.
No, too much.
Nearly enough.
Too much Batman.
Never. That's first off, Walter. You know, good and well, that's impossible. But no, yeah, I think definitely. I mean, you can start with Superman. Now, I don't think we need to have the whole backstory, like the whole origin. Like
apparently they're not going to either.
Everyone knows how Superman got here.
Apparently, this time we're doing Superman like they did Spider-Man, which is we already know that he got here from the planet Krypton, whatever. So it's just going to start off with him as an adult, starting out at the Daily Planet. So okay, fine. They I think they maybe got that part right.
Right.
We don't need 30 minutes to intro him into becoming
in a
Superman
movie, Walter. If you had your way, who is his first villain? Who was he fighting?
If I have my way, who's his first villain?
Yeah, what's
Brainiac.
You start with Brainiac?
I started with Brainiac.
You're going to start with Brainiac.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to start there.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, because look, Lex Luthor, he's a great little background villain or whatever.
Right.
I mean, and like even so much as he can be manipulating Brainiac, but your brawn for this movie is Brainiac. It's not Lex Luthor. It's sure as hell not Doomsday. Batman, we talk about him. We might even have him meet Batman.
Yeah.
But he's not going to fight him. He's not going to team up with him. This is a Superman movie. So if you're going to do a Superman movie, especially if it's going to be your first one, you need to make sure that this is focused in just on him. But we also need to talk about, like, I think it'd be a great idea to have drones go out from the main ship and be attacking other places so you understand why Batman doesn't come help.
Right.
and why so you understand why Wonder Woman, the Flash,
The
whatever.
League,
So you get the idea that those things are happening, and you might even have news happening where you can see that these other things are happening elsewhere. That gives you an idea as to why Superman is doing this by himself,
right,
in a world where those other people exist.
You know what would be crazy though, is if after that fight, because a fight with Brainiac is not going to be so contained to like a street. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
What would be great is at the end credit scene, right, Walter? Superman gets home, like his human home, you know, right? He sits down, he's like, and he turns the light on, and Batman's there. And then he's like, Clark Kent, you need some help. And then he's like, or no, he go, or maybe he calls him Kal-El. Like maybe he's figured out his name or something. But I think that'd be kind of cool. Like if he gets there, he turns, and Batman's there, because Batman's like, yeah, I saw how you handled that.
Mm-hmm.
You need some friends.
Yeah,
and then that kind of that's like the Nick Fury scene talking about the Avengers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that would be kind of cool. I definitely want to do a recreation of that scene from was it Just League Unlimited or the one before that, when they're all hiding together from, I think, was it from Brainiac when they were hiding? They're hiding from something, and they're like, you know, we need to take our costumes off because we can't walk around. Thanagarians. And he's like, but our secret identities. And he goes, Diana Prince, Wally West, Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne. And they're like, okay, yeah. Like, you know, I would love that kind of a moment where he's like, yeah, I've known who you are the entire time.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great. And then also like a second end credit scene where, you know, the scene where Captain America is punching the punching bag.
Uh-huh.
Okay, to have Superman inside the Batcave, maybe wearing a piece of kryptonite around his neck, and he's throwing punches, and then Batman's instructing him, look, you're not going to be able to do this with power all the time. And then there's just that. Just to be able to have him, people know Superman isn't out there just throwing punches, and Batman leaves the
Batcave. He goes, 1,000 more. He just leaves, turns the lights off, and leaves everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that like one of that's one of the worst problems.
Yeah.
Is that Zack Snyder, he had a plan. It was a bad plan.
Yeah.
He didn't understand.
But he had a plan.
Yeah, he had a plan.
He had a plan.
And to be fair, he had it all tied up from beginning to end.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
And part of the reason it wasn't good is because he doesn't understand those characters.
Yeah. If he had that plan for other characters in DC, it might have worked.
Mm-hmm.
But not with Superman versus Darkseid. None of that made sense.
No.
None of that was good. But I mean, yeah. So definitely, so you start with Superman, and then you got to end it with Batman or a hint of something else coming up, preferably Batman. Then do you go from there to a Batman movie?
You absolutely go from there to a Batman movie. There's either Batman and then Superman, or Superman and then Batman. This is how this got to go.
Or do you have Batman act as the Nick Fury and he pops up basically in everyone's movie because he's recruiting a team? Because remember, one, everyone knows Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Two, we will, at the same time as this is going on, there will be Robert Pattinson's Batman too.
That's true.
So you don't want to have two movies called The Batman or Batman something. So in the DCEU, do you have everyone else's movie and then Batman is the connecting force to all of those, culminating in a League movie? That way there's no
considering
Batman
that they're not going to put Robert Pattinson in those movies, then that actually is a really good plan.
Yeah. So I think that would be good. Make him the Nick Fury. So then you go from Batman, or sorry, you go from Superman, then do you go to Wonder Woman then?
Either Wonder Woman or The Flash.
Right. So knowing DC and their impatience, they would probably want to complete the Trinity ASAP. Away. So we go from Superman to Wonder Woman because they're not going to have the patience to wait. They're not going to have that. They want the Trinity out immediately. So then who do you have her fight in her movie? And don't just say Ares. That's the easy thing.
Well, okay, so Cheetah wasn't good.
No, that was not good. That was bad.
That Cheetah wasn't.
And the
good.
wishing and having the Mandalorian guy do a wishing thing, that was bad too.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was not the way.
Like Ares was okay. Actually, I think the movie was great until you got to Ares. Ares was not good.
You mean in the execution? Yeah.
Yeah, no. Especially the old dude whose face was inside the helmet. That was horrible. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe have Artemis leave the mascara and be running amok in the human world. I don't know, working for some bad guy or something and then have her be Wonder Woman's fight.
Yeah.
And have her first defeat Diana on Themyscira and then be out in the world as the person Diana has to go up against in her final fight before she takes out Max Lord or whoever. I think that works really, really well.
Right.
But not Ares, no.
And then Walter. And then the end credit scene. Batman, Superman show up to talk to Diana. They talk it out a little bit, and then they decide to be a team. And we get that other scene from the comics where they each put their hand on the lasso. And, I'm Clark Kent, I'm Diana Prince, I'm Batman. I love that scene. Like, he says, I'm Batman. And, like, that's the lasso making him say, the art is true. That's his real name as far as he's concerned.
Which we all know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Bruce Wayne is the mask. But no, I think it should end with Batman coming to recruit, to recruit Diana because but I think maybe he brings Superman and is like, hey, because he doesn't really fully trust that she won't throw hands immediately on sight.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, and he's like, what you bring him for? I brought him for you. But I think that could be cool. Then from there, I think from there you go to Flash. Now, do you do Barry or do you do Wally? Because a lot of people my age grew up with Wally, but a lot of people who are in the younger generation
we've had the TV show
with Barry.
Yeah.
So
I think that if we had done this 20 years ago,
you would do Wally.
You would go Wally.
But now you can do
Barry.
So you do Barry. Do you start with Reverse Flash, or do you start with someone else, like the Thinker or something? Like who do you?
I think probably you start with someone like the Thinker, because for 10 years now we've seen Barry say, "I'm the fastest man alive. I'm not fast enough.
I need to get faster.
And after a while, like it's just sort of a trope now. It's like it's old.
Yeah.
So you need him to be up against someone who is smarter than his speed.
Right. So that way it's not just speed versus speed. It's speed versus something else. Now here's a question: do you pick Grant Gustin to be the Flash?
I would say yes.
Like if you had absolute power to make it happen.
Yeah, right? I would say yes 5 years ago.
Not now. You think it's too late now?
I think he's getting old, and especially now that you're trying to make DC's characters now younger. Grant Gustin, when the Flash started, I think was 23, so he's like 33, 34 now.
Yeah.
If you're trying to keep them down around in their like early to mid 20s,
right,
he's too old now. So
which sucks because he was really good for it.
He was absolutely, and
like Walter, the moment he was good. If I was in charge of DC, I'd be like, hey, real quick, Flash TV show is canceled. Everyone on the show, you're coming to the big leagues. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Like, because like I would have taken Cisco. I would have taken Killer Frog. Everybody. Whole cast. Come on up. Welcome to the big screen.
But they're too old now.
Yeah.
And like Firestorm? Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Stephen Amell's cousin, whatever the hell his name is, I can't remember.
And even when they switched to the other guy for Firestorm, like
Jax,
the first 5 years of the DC of the Arrowverse
was great.
The first 5 years,
and then it ran too long, and they didn't understand.
And then I thought it was hilarious how they thought they were going to continue the Arrowverse without Arrow in it. That was hilarious. I'm like you.
No, they planned to keep an Arrow. It was just his daughter, and she said,
No. Stephen Amell is Green Arrow. Okay, you know that, Walter. That man saved that character because he was kind of a joke before Walter. I'm not gonna lie. He was he's Robin Hood. No, this man's about that life. But so
and speaking of that, another thing that we need to do. Look, I don't know why Hollywood is doing this, but can we please stop nerfing the guys to make women look stronger? Yeah. Guys don't have to be nerfed to make women look stronger. The first Wonder Woman movie was great. And all the guys were capable. Yeah. They didn't have superpowers, but they were all capable. And they all did something. You didn't make them look like idiots to make her powerful. She was just powerful and we accept it. Right. So let's stop making any of the characters
I think
weak.
If they get people who really understand Wonder Woman, they won't need to do that because she she really is really good at throwing hands. Like they don't have to make anyone else. Like the only person on the league only people on the league who can out punch her would be Superman and maybe Martian Manhunter, depending on if he's, in
that movie that day.
If he woke up and chose violence that day. And even then, he's not beating her by punching. He's probably gonna phase through and do some other shenanigans. Mm-hmm. But like, so I don't think they have to. If we get people who really understand what they're doing, it shouldn't be a problem. Mm-hmm. But after Flash, though, do we go? I think we go Green Lantern, because that will have been enough time by that movie. That's movie 5, right? Because they did the first 3 plus, or no, that's like movie 4 actually. Mm-hmm. By that point, they will have established a good track record of DC movies.
Hopefully.
We
are talking about how we're fixing it, though. So yes.
So in this world,
4 good movies.
I think by that point, we'd be... And keep in mind, it would have been well over 10 years since the Lantern movie. I think now we do Lantern. No, but here's the catch, though. You don't do Hal Jordan. I think I know, because I hate Hal Jordan. Movie 1 for Green Lantern is Jon Stewart, and we do Parallax. Kind of like the Beware My Power thing, except good.
See, that's my whole thing. Like, I honestly think that you're right. And I would do the Parallax story from the comics, not the one from Beware My Power, because that was just terrible.
Right.
But yeah, you start off with you start off with Kyle Rayner. Mm-hmm. Okay, but you start off with Kyle Rayner, who is now going out into space and giving out rings, and he gives a ring to Jon Stewart and says, "You're going to be the Green Lantern of Earth."
We're gonna switch the order. Jon Stewart came first.
I understand that.
I don't like this. I don't like change.
I understand this, but Parallax happened during Kyle Rayner.
I know. It was during Kyle Rayner.
So I think that, especially if we're going to use a younger Jon Stewart and we're going to have him be our Green Lantern for the next 10, 20 years, so we take a younger guy and we say, okay, Kyle Rayner took over from Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan's out in space killing people. I need a lantern here. I can't stay. You're that guy. I'm going out after that. And then Kyle Rayner's gone. Now you've got Parallax out in space doing whatever. You've got lanterns getting killed while Jon Stewart is figuring out how to be a Green Lantern. Then he goes out into space to help Kyle Rayner out against Parallax. And Kilowog, because we have to have Kilowog.
I don't know how...
I love Kilowog.
I mean, everyone loves Kilowog. That's why he's in everything Lantern. I don't know how I feel about Rayner coming first. Maybe we don't do Parallax first. Maybe we do Sinestro first.
We can do Sinestro first, because my problem with I sort of agree with you about Kyle Rayner, because he's the ultimate Lantern,
right? So you don't want to start off with that, and also remember, everyone in the last 20-ish, 25-ish years, we all grew up with Jon Stewart being on Green Lantern. Hal Jordan is the new guy now to us, because we had the greatest Justice League cartoon on the planet, and it was Jon Stewart. Mm-hmm. That's what everyone thinks of as Lantern. In DC and the Arrowverse, they were hinting and almost did Jon Stewart, as Green Lantern. So I think maybe we do a thing where maybe he's been captured by Sinestro, and then maybe like the twist is that maybe he's been affected by the Yellow Lantern ring or something, or something where Hal Jordan is already clearly going towards the evil side, and then maybe we work up to Parallax, and then we have Kyle come in to save the day. But I do think Jon Stewart needs to be the Lantern for the DCEU's
2840.
Yeah, like for their Justice League, he needs to be the Lantern on there. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I'm sure there's a bunch of Hal Jordan fans out there, but
we're not
them. No. So I think maybe he gets picked as the reserve Lantern because something Sinestro's done or something. He goes to save them, and then maybe at the end he becomes honor guard or something as a thanks or something.
But now here's the thing. Okay, so the Lantern Corps show actually apparently is still happening.
Okay.
So we are probably going to actually have established lanterns by the time they do a Lantern movie. Mm-hmm. So if the Lantern show happens, and you're gonna have Corps lanterns, then again, I'm gonna have I want Kyle, Jon Stewart, and Guy Gardner.
So then maybe what they do is they have Hal be in the show, and then maybe we have him phase out or get captured whatever for the movie, and then we bring in Jon Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe I just don't want Hal Jordan. I just don't
anywhere
want Hal Jordan.
near, yeah.
I just don't want him in there.
I agree. Like, we have Hal Jordan get wiped out in like the first episode.
I would like it to be Jon Stewart into Kyle Rayner, and then just Guy Gardner just shows up. Also, I do like Power Ring's story. I do like hers. I do like her thing is pretty cool.
Did you hear about what happened to Baz?
What happened to Baz?
Okay, so apparently Black Adam goes into the future.
Uh-huh.
And Baz becomes the leader of the Yellow Lantern Corps.
He's another Hal Jordan?
No, he's not evil. He's just the leader of the Yellow Lantern Corps.
For good? Like he's using it for like the good side?
Yeah.
This man conquered fear?
Apparently.
Yo, Hal Jordan sucks. That makes sense because with Kyle Rayner, when he was a White Lantern, yellow is part of that.
Yeah, and Kyle used it.
It's just about how you use it. And so you're saying that Sinestro and Hal are just too weak, and Baz was like, let me just conquer fear real quick?
Pretty much, yeah.
Is every Lantern better than Hal?
But Hal's supposed to be the best, though.
He's not.
They actually say in all of his stuff, he is the greatest Green Lantern.
He's really not.
He's not.
He's
not
the
even
squirrel
close.
Is better than him.
He's not even close.
He's just the worst. So, yeah, I think we go Jon Stewart. Now, do we do Martian Manhunter, or do we do Hawkgirl and try and do Justice League Unlimited type of feel here?
I don't think we give Martian Manhunter his own movie. I mean, granted, I would have said that about Thor also, and he's had 4 now. So I mean,
right.
So I mean, yeah,
two and a half good ones. 2.5 good ones. but
yeah, like I mean, I don't really find John's story that compelling. You know, and I mean, I like him as a character, but he's a great side character.
They can bring in John Johns as part of whatever the first League movie is. Yeah, he can be introduced that way. Also, Hawkgirl, I think you introduce her during the Jon Stewart movie.
I agree.
Yeah. Because I mean, they're
out in space,
because
so
obviously they were,
and they have a son together. So so eventually, that's
So I think you bring her in that way, and you bring John Johns in the League movie, and then now you have your League.
Oh, and also, stop having people who are useful for something just sitting on the sidelines. You know, like John Jones, who didn't at all help out in Batman versus Superman.
Now, granted, I think. Well, yeah, I mean that was very stupid. But then also in League or in Dawn of Justice or whatever, wasn't his appearance at the end as John Jones that was supposed to be Green Lantern, I believe, originally, and they changed it to John Jones at the end because for studio meddling or whatever. But it was supposed to be Green Lantern. Cause I saw a clip where he showed he had a mock-up, I had someone I was ready to go, you know. Green Lantern would have made more sense, but also. Both Green Lantern and John Jones should have not come in at the end.
Absolutely not.
Both of them would have come in and thrown hands immediately.
Especially when you consider that at the beginning of the Justice League movie, Darkseid is being fought by a Green Lantern. Yeah. So there's a Green Lantern.
He killed a Lantern. Yeah. Are you telling me the Lantern Corps, once they found out Darkseid was on Earth, wouldn't have shown up with all the homies?
That's what I'm saying. And do things that make sense. Yeah. That's all we ask.
Because Walter, you know what would have been great is if maybe Darkseid comes, or maybe Steppenwolf comes in with like a ship or whatever. They try and leave with the ship, and then there's a green barrier around Earth, and then you see maybe Jon Stewart there, with his arms crossed, is Steppenwolf of Apocalypse, you're under arrest by the Green Lantern Corps, and you end right there. How cool would that have been? You know, so that's better than.
I mean, he was decapitated though, so you know.
But that could still happen later on. You know, but maybe he turns around and one of them's like, "Ha! You thought," cut his head off. You know.
But yeah, the lanterns should have been here.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was very stupid. That doesn't
make sense. The Martian Manhunter being on the planet and not coming to help
and knowing what was happening.
Yeah,
because he was monitoring it. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
That's almost as bad as Superman sitting right across the bay from Gotham City and doing absolutely nothing about it.
Yeah. You know what's even worse than that? Superman having Freeland as a part of Metropolis and not helping
at all.
At all. He's a racist.
No, because he didn't help Batman either.
Superman's a racist. All right, black people live in Gotham too. That's why he's like, looks a little dark over there. The Dark Knight? I think not. No.
Well, he worked for Perry White though, who was black in that particular universe.
And they disagreed all the time.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And Jimmy's dead. Snyder's is bad.
Yeah, it was bad. They started that movie by killing Jimmy.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Dude, they're just like, they didn't even give Jimmy any play. They didn't even tell you that was Jimmy. They just showed you a name tag with his name.
Because that was Jimmy, and then also what's her face, Lois was there, right?
Yeah.
So if this was real Superman, Lois or Jimmy would have just whispered, "Clark, I need your help." And he'd be like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm just gonna kill these guys real quick."
Yeah, except for Jimmy wasn't really Jimmy. He was a
CIA
agent or some crap like that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but Lois could have just called for help.
She did.
But sooner though. Jimmy died.
Yeah.
She could have called for a little bit sooner.
Okay, and can we get people who act like themselves?
Yeah.
Okay. Can Superman crack a smile? Can Wonder Woman, actually, in the first movie, Wonder Woman was great.
Yeah.
That second movie, she was mopey little.
Yeah, she
rapist.
has a sense of humor too, because I like in the animated movies when like there's this little girl that she was talking to in Washington, and she gave her ice cream for the first time, and she's like, "Ice cream, yo!" She put her sword in the air.
Ice cream is great.
Yeah, that's great. Like, she has a sense of humor too. I mean, her sense of humor is also aggressive and angry, but it's a sense of humor.
And a little childlike.
Yeah, because she's never been out in the world.
She knows nothing. Yeah.
We forgot somebody.
Shazam? Oh no.
The King of Atlantis.
Okay, no.
We forgot Aquaman.
No, I didn't forget Aquaman.
We forgot Aquaman.
He made $1 billion. I didn't forget him. We just hadn't gotten there.
No. Underwater Lobo made $1 billion.
Yeah, that's true. Underwater Lobo did make $1 billion. But actual Aquaman may not be that good.
Maybe we introduce Aquaman through a Throne of Atlantis story, a movie. Because he's just not interesting outside of that, Walter. He's just not. I'm sorry. He's not.
But see, we've already done a Throne of Atlantis movie, and it made $1 billion.
No, we're doing it again.
It literally just happened. It's like 2 or 3 years ago.
But by this point, it would have been like 8-9 years.
Fair.
Yeah. I think we do it again, and this time we make it lame Aquaman. And yes, he's comic relief. Sorry, guys. Deal with it. This is not cool Arthur. This is lame Arthur with the bright orange and the green, all right?
He was wearing that outfit.
He wasn't. No.
He did. He wore that outfit.
No. That was Underwater Lobo, okay? Also, I think at the end of the first League movie, Walter, it ends with the main man showing up, all right? Because at this point, they will have made a name for themselves.
And the League movie has to be against Darkseid. It's just, like...
You think you start with Darkseid?
I think starting with Darkseid, because it actually worked in Justice League War. Starting with Darkseid, and then Darkseid now going, okay, I underestimated them. Not doing that again. Right. And then he started building up. Towards a better way to take them out later. So I think that you can absolutely start with Darkseid, and I think that really, honestly, for a Justice League movie to work,
right,
you almost have to go against Darkseid, and then now you get Darkseid maybe making other supervillains or whatever.
What would be great? All right, hear me out, Walter. They lose to Darkseid loses to the League, right? He starts planning his counterattack. And then Granny Goodness goes, "We went about it the wrong way." Brings up a screen, and you see a blonde teenage girl who looks lost. This is where we go. You have Lobo get sent in the next movie to go kidnap Supergirl, who doesn't know who she is because she just hit the ground, right? You brainwash her, and we go to that one storyline where the League has to go to the Trinity goes to Apocalypse to fight him.
Hey, they also went with Big Barda.
Okay, she was also there. But I mean, like that'd be something cool. I think a way to bring in Supergirl. but also bring in Lobo immediately because
I'd really like to see Big Barda actually.
yeah, Big Barda would be pretty cool. They gotta get somebody who's like 12 feet 10 or something crazy because she is not a small woman.
No, she's not. Big Barda is big.
Yeah, but I think that could be kind of cool, you know. But you definitely gotta like they have the characters, they have the storylines. It is not hard.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
You just do what's in the comic, and you put it on the screen in real life.
Now, what do you think they should build up to? Because obviously Marvel, when they first start, they were building up to Endgame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the equivalent Endgame in the long run? Is it Blackest Night? Is it Infinite Crisis? Because, you know, we don't want to go right to a reboot, right? You know, we don't want to.
Infinite Crisis is going to be a thing that we do when we have said, okay, we're done with these stories now. Let's start over again. We're going to keep these actors, but we're going to do something different.
Right.
Yeah, because that's basically just a way to just go, okay, slate's clean.
Right. Because, see, my Lantern bias is telling me we go to Blackest Night. Because it did include everybody.
It did.
It did include everybody. And we get to see God Mode Kyle Rayner. So that's two things, Walter. What do you think you end up
at? Blackest Night is actually a really good one. But, excuse me, not Infinite Crisis, but I think Crisis is actually...
Multiple Earths? No,
Crisis, Infinite Earths.
Crisis on exactly 3 Earths.
Our budget is low. It was like 6 Earths.
Our budget is low. Crisis on 2.5 Earths.
Yeah, like you can definitely go to Crisis. We could do the Thanagarian War.
Yeah, Thanagarian War. They could try and bring in the Martian War. I think
the Martian War.
That could be pretty cool. That could be like their secret invasion type of thing. Mm-hmm. War World is always a good option. Just because I want to see them fight. Let's see who else. What else would be good? We could bring in. What is the evil version of them that has like Owlman and?
Oh yeah.
Is that the Syndicate? Syndicate, yeah. You can do that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You can bring them in. I mean, Dark Knight's Metal is also not a bad idea either. Mm-hmm. Cause they're probably going to want to do more recent stories, except for Crisis. Crisis and Flashpoint are your Hail Marys. Those are your things where it's like we need to fix something.
Yeah, we messed up.
Now.
We made a mistake.
Something has gone wrong. So you only do Crisis or Flashpoint if something like that happens. I'm trying to think of like some of the best. I mean, I guess there's not. It's because like
there's not a lot of things.
So many things in DC that like when they happen, it's like it's so final. Mm-hmm. Almost, you know. But I mean, I guess it would just be Darkseid. You can do Darkseid War, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's the major problem with the Justice League, is that the Justice League, if you're really honest, is so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the greatest tactician, the 2 most powerful characters, the fastest man in the known universe.
Right.
The man with the most powerful weapon in the universe. The guy who talks to fish. And the telepath who ties them all together. Who stops that? Only Darkseid.
Yeah. I mean, let's see, you got Darkseid.
And again, like the Thanagarians.
Is it the Spectre? The green, the guy with the green.
Spectre,
yeah. Spectre, yeah. He could throw hands with the whole league.
Well,
he wouldn't.
He's an angel.
He wouldn't.
I mean, so.
But he could.
He would beat them.
You see, there you go. There's one.
I mean, but technically, the Spectre could beat Darkseid. He just won't fight him.
We gotta do a thing with Zod. Zod, one of the group movies has to be them versus Zod with surviving Kryptonians.
I would get. Yeah, I actually thought about that.
Oh,
and Superman has to kill Zod because
and he has to demand
kneel before Zod.
He didn't do that in Man of Steel, and I was like, "That's really not gonna go for the easy layup." Okay, all right, that's just me, I guess.
And you know what's really bad about that is that there's no other place in any universe where that doesn't happen.
It's just that one.
Like even the show Krypton.
Yeah.
Kneel before Zod was a thing he said to show your allegiance.
Yeah.
Like, did you watch Krypton?
I watched the first two episodes, then I stopped watching.
Like, okay, so Zod was black.
Yeah.
That was cool. But
yeah. I saw that much. Yeah.
Yeah. So to show allegiance, he would stand before you and he'd go kneel before Zod, and then you would kneel, and then you were now a member of his crew.
Right.
So he says it everywhere.
Right.
Except for in Zack Snyder's universe. Bad writing.
Mm-hmm. It's so easy. It's I hate Superman and Walter. I can do better than him. It may not be the end of it may not be the end game, but maybe the Civil War equivalent. I want to do Injustice: God Among Us. Now, I think like, so I think what would be cool is if you do it and it seems as if it's like the next step in the universe, but you find out that it was like a divergent point, and then of course at the end how they bring in the real league out, you do that kind of thing. But I think Injustice, Walter, could be an entire phase of its own.
Yeah, it could.
Year 1, year 2, year 3. I like Injustice, Walter. And then at the end we have quote unquote real Superman come in to fight fake Superman, even though they're both the same person.
But they're not.
They really are.
There's real Superman, and then there's
he's one with the yellow lantern ring who's killing everybody.
No. That's fake Superman.
No, but anyway, I think Injustice would be good too.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I think because they did a lot of comics on that because it was really popular. The game was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was intriguing. It was definitely intriguing. I think that would be pretty good. We gotta do stuff with the Suicide Squad because they're too popular.
Mm-hmm. And then Kingdom Come. See, here's the thing.
Maybe that's how you
very
end it.
characters. Yeah, the people that you got rid of,
bring them back.
That everybody loves so much,
bring them back.
Get them back for Kingdom Come.
Yeah, I think if we're going to end that run of the DCEU, I think the only proper way to actually end it is Kingdom Come.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you really want to continue after that, Walter, Batman Beyond.
Wait. Okay. Question.
Yeah.
If we do Kingdom Come, Batfleck or Michael Keaton? Because remember,
I would say Michael Keaton because Batman is Batfleck, but Keaton is Batman. All right.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. Like, look, if we do a 20-year time skip or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Superman doesn't age. Wonder Woman doesn't age. So you can actually have Cavill and Gal Gadot do those characters. They look a little bit older, but it's far into the future. No one cares. Those two characters look the same. Everybody else, you can cast whoever you want to as Red Robin or whatever.
Yeah,
or
no one cares.
You only care about Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
I think
maybe Aquaman.
I think you're bringing Keaton. But Hal Jordan's there. You know what? Nope. Jon Stewart now rewrote it. But yeah, I think Kingdom Come will be the way you end that universe, and then I think.
And you could definitely go to Batman.
Yeah, because it's old Bruce. And what you have happen is that you have Superman and Wonder Woman, and they decide to leave the planet, go do their own thing. You have all the old heroes retire because hey, look, we're done. Like
have the ultimate child.
Yeah, like we're done. Like we're tired. Like we're out. Peace. You do Batman Beyond. Because people want Batman Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you have to do Static Shock. Static Shock has to be one of these things, and you can easily have it be a thing where Static Shock is like a kid during Kingdom Come, and then his time is after the other heroes go on.
True.
So that you have Static, you have Terry, you build your next roster up. Maybe Wonder Woman, when she leaves the planet, she leaves Wonder Girl as her replacement. Like you can do
absolutely
a new league.
Side note: you people were stupid when you made Painkiller instead of Static. The guy could have been Static.
Oh, the thing I hated about that show, Walter, and I remember week to week, every time they introduced a new male, everyone online was like, Virgil? Is it Virgil? Is that Virgil? And it never was Virgil.
And they kept putting dudes with dreadlocks just so you would wonder.
Now, Painkiller, his actor was good.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have seen him as Static, though. because he was way too tough looking. Like
he was kind of ripped.
Like like Static is not. He's not that big, dude. He ain't tough like that.
That is a fair assessment.
But there was that one kid at the end of season 1 that they saw in the pod.
Mm-hmm.
That could have easily been Static.
I don't think they ever established who that was. It might still have been Static.
I think that was the kid that could like either talk to computers or see the future.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I was like, I was hoping that he was gonna be like, wake up and like, hey, what's your name? My name is Virgil, and then stop right there. That would have been. It would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But they ruined it. They ruined it, and it was stupid. That show was bad for a lot of reasons. I was angry at it constantly.
It was great for one season.
Yeah, and then like his daughters just, and then the wife, she was the worst. You are the sister of one of the greatest lanterns that ever exists, and you out here just being stupid.
But
and she would know her brother's a lantern because he doesn't hide his face.
Mm-hmm. But okay, I hated Jennifer. I hated Jennifer.
She's the younger one, right?
Yeah, the younger one.
Yeah.
I hated her every single week, except for when she said, "You ain't got no powers. Why you talking?"
I mean, yeah, it's rough, but it's true.
Yeah, it's like, why do you have an opinion here? There's 3 of us who are out here risking our lives,
yeah.
and you keep watching us go do this stuff. You even asked Dad to go do it, and then you got mad that he did it.
Here's the thing. So obviously we're going to include Black Lightning, right?
Of course.
Do we include his daughters, or do we just have him be the mentor to Static?
No. We can include his daughters. They just can't be like that.
Yeah.
Again, going back to that thing that we said. Now, granted, his daughters had way too much attitude for black kids.
Yeah. That's not how we do things here.
Yeah. No. So, yeah, his daughters had way too much attitude for black kids. That was a problem. But at least if we give him his daughters younger, younger, not like almost adults or an adult or whatever. Give him like a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old or something like that. Somebody who wants to follow Dad around and who can get into trouble or whatever, but who has powers.
Yeah.
We do that, and then Virgil coming in and being like the son.
I think Virgil should be older.
Yeah.
And then that way, because we're going to either have him die or something trying to happen, Virgil could be the one that mentors.
Yes, exactly.
He can return the favor to the family by mentoring the 2 younger ones, which sets up a third wave of heroes once they get older.
Mm-hmm.
So that's long-term planning. But yeah, you got to include Black Lightning. You got to have the Thanagarians in there because we need Hawk. We need Hawk Girl. Let's see who else gets to join.
And a different Hawkman than the guy who was in.
You didn't like him?
So no, the guy playing him is fine.
Yeah.
The Hawkman of that movie is wrong.
Oh, how he was?
Yeah. Like I have never seen Hawkman start out as some rich dude who, just like it's.
I don't know if I've ever seen Hawkman take orders from Waller.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever seen him take orders.
I mean, he's quite aware that he's thousands of years old.
Yeah. He didn't act like he was thousands of years old.
Nah, he acted like some dude who just figured out he had powers 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
And he never mentioned Shira once.
That was also weird. That was very weird. Yeah. Now I like the actor though.
Yeah,
I love when he was talking to Adam Smasher. After this, me and you. I think Adam Smasher can stay. I liked him.
Yeah, I agree.
Winchick, I thought like all the actors they've picked so far have been good. That's not the problem.
Yeah, and I must admit that like rebooting the Justice Society.
Yeah.
Now Pierce Brosnan, who's dead, you can bring him back.
Yeah, bring him back. Yeah.
You've rebooted. He doesn't have to be dead anymore. I'm totally cool with that.
Now, if we bring a society, do we have Alan Scott, and then do we also have
Hourman and
and then do we do what's his face, Jay Garrick? Are we bringing all of them in too?
I would think so.
Yeah.
But then I think you have to put that in the past.
Or an alternate Earth. Because if they're in the past, then people will be, oh yeah, superheroes exist, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like like Superman doesn't become, he's not amazing then when he comes out,
Fair.
So that's got to be Earth 2. It's got to be Earth 2.
Yeah. Fair.
But like there's so many good. Blue Beetle. I think, and I don't know how they're gonna do the movie, but it's gotta be what's his face. I forgot his name. The older guy, Ted Kord. It's gotta be Ted Kord mentoring Jaime Reyes. It's gotta be, because if it's not him,
I think you do that one almost like Batman Beyond,
yeah,
where Ted Kord is fighting and whatever. Only except for like he's not retired yet, but he's fighting whatever. Jaime saves him, takes him back to his lair, finds the Scarab.
Yeah.
Like, what's this? Picks it up and then the Scarab attaches to him.
Because Jaime's he's the much more interesting Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
So I hope they should do it, but if they don't do it in our version, I'd have Ted Kord mentoring Jaime. I think that would be much better. I think you do Young Justice eventually, like maybe like towards like phase 2-ish, like towards or maybe like as you approach Kingdom Come, you do maybe a Young Justice or Teen Titans. I think would be good too. Like Teen Titans first and then Young Justice.
But do you Teen Titans or do you Titans?
You Teen Titans. The correct way.
I mean, it was almost.
I didn't watch Titans.
I watched the first.
I chose to not watch Titans.
I watched the first 2 seasons.
And you do it where Starfire does not look like a hooker. All right.
Wait, no, Starfire looks like a hooker. That's just the way.
I mean,
that's the way Starfire works.
But like not with like the fur coat. Yeah. But you have them be teens. I think Cyborg is a Teen Titan. He is not a leaguer. No, not at first. I do not like him being in the league. He's 18, Walter.
I mean, I sort of agree, but see, I can see him doing both. Like, I sort of like the way that they did it in the animated stuff, where like he's in the league, but then when you see him do Titan, when there's Titan movies, he's also there.
Yeah, because
he's a teenager, and let's face it, hanging out with a bunch of like 30-year-olds, he has nothing in common with. Yeah. And he's a moody teenager who happens to be, the most knowledgeable person on the planet because he can tap into all the knowledge on the planet. So yeah, he absolutely needs to hang out with people his age.
Yeah.
But by the same token, he's too important to not be in the league.
I mean, I think he can get around being a Teen Titan and then go on to Young Justice, and then maybe at that point get brought into the league once they feel that he's.
I mean, so same with Shazam, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, Batman knows Shazam as a kid.
Yeah.
And okay, so the Zachary Levi Batman, I'm sorry, Shazam. Shazam is good, but the wisdom of Solomon, he never uses it in these movies, like ever.
Because he's a dummy.
Yeah, he's just some child with a lot of powers.
He's a big old dummy.
So with the way he acts,
yeah.
I have no problem with him being a Teen Titan, except for that people would wonder, why is that 40-year-old guy a Teen Titan?
Yeah, I think Shazam, he'd be a leaguer when he comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a grown man. That's too weird. But yeah, I think they have a lot of really good options that they could go with. And that's not that you mentioned the individual stories like Death in the Family or The Killing Joke. I'm trying to think of non-Batman ones. But there's a lot. I mean, like what do you call it? Like Blackest Night. That's a whole 5-6 year arc of itself.
True.
Dark Knight's Metal. That's a whole other 6-year arc that you could do. They have a lot of really good options. They just need to learn that you have to build to them. You cannot just start off with these crazy arcs. They didn't start with Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
It took 4 years to get to him saying, or to him smiling.
And he didn't do anything.
He just smiled.
And he disappeared for like a couple more movies.
Yeah.
And then they showed him again, and then someone was talking to him.
Yeah, and they showed him again, he's like, I'll do it myself. Come on. So, DC, if you're listening,
but yeah, like,
hire.
Get good writers, have some patience, introduce people.
Make a map, and stick to it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And if you believe in the story you have laid out, even if like there is a misstep, because remember, like Captain America made what, like $700 million or something like that, and Iron Man only made like 600 million.
Yeah.
Those first couple of movies, they, for some reason DC was under the impression that they were going to make $1 billion out of the gate. Those first couple of Marvel movies, the Hulk made $480 million or something like that.
Yeah.
They slowly built up. They didn't just start out in the billions.
It wasn't until Avengers.
Yeah. So I don't know why DC thought they would just walk in and make $1 billion.
Because they're thinking, well, superhero movies are making this much money. It's like, no. Marvel movies are making that much money.
Mm-hmm.
People know there's a difference between Marvel and DC.
Yeah, because I mean, the first Kick-Ass movie only made like $300 million.
Right.
But to be fair, those are all ground level heroes, so they didn't have to. They had stunts.
Yeah.
They didn't have special effects.
Right.
At least not a lot of it. So it was like there wasn't a lot of extra to do. So on a $100 million budget, $300 million is a lot of money.
Right. There's a lot they need to do, Walter.
There is.
They have a lot of work. So this is for free, DC. If you want any more detailed help or a roadmap, you can call us. We're near Burbank, so we're right nearby your offices. Yeah. So next we're going to talk about the other side, the other guy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with Marvel right now? Because there's a lot happening right now. We're gonna record that one right after this, so this should also be coming out pretty soon after this, because we're being consistent, Walter. We're being consistent.
We're putting in the work. We're putting in the work.
So until next time, guys, we've been your host, Kerbykidd
and Black Superman.
We'll see you later, guys.